us, in your view, how necessary was today's protest? And also tell us, why do you feel, or why is your view assertive to the fact that the president, or President Jacob Zuma, should and must step down?
All right. Thank you for that. My name is Khumalo. I'm a writer. I also have a blog. I write about religion, politics, and sex, and have a book coming out about those topics. Today was necessary because something very interesting I saw. You had signs talking about stop rape. You had signs talking about stop theft, all these different topics, and only President Jacob Zuma can bring all of those very divergent themes together in one place. Nobody else can do that. Nobody else has done more to unite South Africa in the last 9 years. Yes, it's for all the wrong reasons, but it's also quite interesting. And that's one of the things that this march was important about, because at the risk of turning him into a scapegoat for everything that's wrong with South Africa, he does symbolize everything we need to fix, everything we avoid talking about, everything we don't want to recognize. And one of the things this is going to catalyze is us going deeper into those conversations. We must talk about race, we must talk about sexual violence, we must talk about corruption, and he just happens to be the focal point that brings all of those together.
What do you say to those who feel that black young people are being manipulated, black young people are being oblivious, they are window dressers, they're being used as window dressers to draw the masses, but the actual objective is white monopoly, etc. What are your views in that regard, and what would you say to that black person that kind of says that is their view? What would you say in that regard?
I would flip it around and say I think the DA is changing. It might be an on the surface change, but the DA, the more I listen to it, the more it seems cognizant of the fact that race is really about the struggles of the young black people. It seems to be taking more and more stock, more recognition of that matter. Whether we're going to see an overnight haul in the DA is another, it's going to be very interesting to watch. Those young black people, it's up to their consciences to tell them whether they are sacrificing one part of themselves, which is who they are racially, to save another part of themselves. That's who they are economically, who they are in terms of their careers, in terms of their vocation. Because we can't live in that conflict forever. The ANC has completely betrayed black people. So a black person who feels that their blackness is better represented, their economic priorities are better represented in a party like the DA or any other party, that person is not really betraying anybody who hasn't already betrayed them. So it's fine, I think.
In terms of the new reshuffled, the new leadership, the members, the MPs and the deputy ministers, what are your views on the leadership? What are your views? Tell us your views.
It's not leadership. That is not leadership. That is the claws are out. The looting is now going to happen in broad daylight. There is no hiding it anymore. But how did sorry, no disrespect, how did Badakwile Dlamini remain? How is this possible? That's not leadership. It's the looting will now happen in broad daylight. We don't know those people. We don't trust they don't have that. It's not just about political gravitas, but the track record in their portfolios. For an example, look at Minister Malusi Gigaba for finance. He's politically very slick. Technically, he's not incapable. But the rumors around him, there's just this reputation that he's a Gupta boy. And in South Africa, that's a liability for the ANC, especially as the people who deployed those ministers. As
an independent person, but highly intellectual and obviously versatile and knowledgeable. Now, I would like to know. Some say that there is no winning in this situation. It is either we are being taken or the economy is being taken to the Western white monopoly, or it's being taken to the East. So if somebody threw that question to you, where do you think the economy is being thrown at by the DA? If the DA had to be the leading party, where do you think the economy is likely to be thrown, and where do you think the ANC and President Jacob Zuma is throwing the economy, and where would you say the EFF would be throwing the economy?
Oof. The DA would probably throw the economy west. or to somewhere in a very conflicted region in the Middle East that we won't go into too many details about. The ANC would throw the economy east. The EFF would burn the economy down. The analysis of the country is spot on. The solutions don't add up. It feels like they're burning down the whole house just to prove a political point more than anything else, because a lot of what they talk about already exists in legislation, in existence. BEE covers a lot of what they talk about. It just hasn't been implemented. It's written, it's not being done. And it's not really, I'm not concerned about where the economy gets thrown. It's when we approach those countries, are we approaching from a position of weakness or from a position of strength? You can negotiate with anybody, be it China, be it America. You can negotiate with anybody, but if you're coming from a position of strength and what you are giving up isn't greater than what you're getting back, it doesn't matter who you do that with, as much as are you coming from a position of strength. Is your house in order? Those considerations.
So is the ANC's house in order, and are they in a position to strengthen the economy? And if the DA were in leadership, is the DA in a position of strength? Would the DA be able to throw the economy into the right direction and strengthen the economy? And what about the EFF?
The ANC has given the economy to President Jacob Zuma. President Jacob Zuma will give the economy away to the Guptas and to Putin, whoever else wants it, for whatever price they want it for. So the ANC has no credibility, zero, when it says that it's going to strengthen the economy. There is zero credibility in that regard. It intends to give the economy away within the next 2 years. The whole thing. No trade-off, nothing coming back, nothing. The DA would do a slightly better job. They would give enough away and they would get back enough back for South Africa to be overall better, but you'd see a lot of race groups again exceeding those who are already advantaged, unless the DA, and I think that again they're going in this direction where they are acknowledging we need some kind of BEE. For an example, the new entrant threshold, it's now at 50 million rand. You can plead poverty as a black person until you have 49 million rand net worth. It used to be 15, now it's 49 million rand, and the DA contested and said that real BEE, real black economic empowerment, would have the threshold much lower so that more people would get a chance. If you're just enriching one or two politically connected people, which is what the ANC has done, you'll never get to anybody else. So the DA is starting to see the power of BEE, and they're starting to say if we used it better, everybody would be on a more even playing ground. So the DA is actually a wild card in that regard, because it could be very pro-black in the next few years, or it might stick to its very pro-white roots, and a lot of people will deny that those roots are very pro-white, but they are. The EFF, once again, brilliant analysis of where the country is, but we just don't in and of ourselves have the tool to become an economic powerhouse yet. And that's what the EFF will try to get us to do, using all the wrong tools. It's sounding very communist, it's sounding very leftist. I don't think it would work. Again, brilliant analysis, terrible, terrible cure. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you.